Hi, it's Trent Clark, CEO of Leadershipity, serial entrepreneur, international speaker, and longtime professional baseball coach, coaching in 3 World Series. And the question to me today is, you've had many businesses. Talk about one of the experiences you've had with them. I'm going to tell you 2 experiences I've had today, and 2 very different experiences. I've had private training businesses. I've owned fitness centers. I've had fitness-based businesses. I've had business in the oil industry, transporting oil in ships and brokering marine transportation for companies. I've been in the software sales capacity for our company, been in leadership development and consulting and executive coaching. So I've been across the gamut into a lot of different things. And in my professional life, into coaching professional athletes. So my first example of one of the things I really struggled with early on in my business, and it led me to buy a franchise, was I owned a company where we were doing fitness centers for people's homes. And I was getting a lot of traction from the pro athletes. I was also coaching in professional athletics at the time. And pro athletes were looking to build gyms for their homes. We had a really beautiful weight room when I was coaching with the Cleveland Indians. We had invested a lot of money, and I knew all the vendors that were dealing with high grade commercial equipment that was only the best of the best. And the athletes wanted us to work out the same equipment that they would work out in season at home. So I started this company. I showed the athletes how to write that off in their taxes, because as an athlete, this was part of their job. And so the business was really coming along very well. We were growing very rapidly in our first year. And what I didn't foresee was that the vendors that I were utilizing saw my success and realized they could do that internally and save themselves a lot of margin by paying me X amount of percentage on the sale. And so a lot of my very vendors and my strategic partners quickly entered the market to compete right against me. And I just really never saw that coming. Made perfect sense. But I just never could foresee that starting out my business. I was busy doing other things, and I never really crossed my mind until really it was too late. And I couldn't compete with big brand names at the same margin when they could undercut me as the wholesale provider and distributor and manufacturer. So it was a real good lesson. My second lesson was in after that experience. I really felt like I went to school to study education, and I really didn't know business very well. So I thought, well, hey, I've got to get back to learning business. I didn't go to business school per se. So I bought a franchise with the intent of having the franchise give me some education as I built their brand out in a strategic location, which that brand was 1-800 Got Junk. And I bought into an area of Phoenix, and I owned all that area. I had a first right of refusal to own the entire greater Phoenix area. I enacted that right after just less than a year, I think, in owning that business and expanded operations, and really enjoyed my learnings in a pretty difficult and challenging business. And we slowly built that up. I didn't really go as rapidly because I was still coaching in professional baseball. I had a good team, but I needed a better team. And I knew that. And I would do a lot of sacrifice for my family to build it faster. So I was methodical in building it, and took some time. And then after owning it for 5 years, I sold my operations to focus on some other things. I felt like I'd learned a lot there, and there was other opportunities, and it was just best for our family at that time to do that. So um, exiting a company always seems exciting, and it was okay for me. It was a pretty good event, and I learned a lot through it all, and met some great people along the way. Lots of lessons, both good and bad. And I learned a ton of things in both those experiences that really helped shape me into all the other businesses I would start after.